everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jackie. I hope you hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Welcome to quite an exciting video. So it is my 31st birthday and I finally bought me something that I have been wanting for years, and by the title you already guessed it. I bought myself a MacBook for the first time. So let me do a little backstory before we unbox the MacBook and I tell you all about it and we set it up and all that fun stuff. I have always loved computers. I've been using computers at such a young age, even for my generation. My dad loves computers. He is a computer nut. He always tells his friends how much he loves computers, and I always wanted to be like my dad, so I was easily influenced to like computers, to be just like him. But now I love it even more than him, I feel like. The earliest memory I have of computers is when my dad got me a keyboard when I was 8 months old. He told me he just gave me an broken keyboard because I was always on his lap typing away, messing with his, so he gave me one so I could like play with it and stuff, and I always thought that was the cutest thing. And when I saw that footage in my first Christmas video, it always warms my heart that my dad was so attentive and he let me explore the computer even without like using it. So I don't know how old I was when I first started using the computer, but I was voted best in computer in kindergarten. I actually found a certificate a few years back. I don't know where it is now, or I would have inserted the certificate, but I was voted best in computer because I was really good at computer games, and since my dad introduced me early to computers, it kind of made sense for me to be best in computer out of all the other subjects in school, even though we technically only had like one vintage computer in our like small school. Problem was my dad was dedicated to Microsoft, Windows, whatever, that sort of system. He did have an Apple computer back in the 80s, but he didn't really get along with it too well. It was harder to use, and for him, he just wasn't a fan compared to like the other computers. So back then, I think it was called Macintosh, and like the system was different and all that. So he has stuck with like Windows, and we were arguing the other day when I got my MacBook. I was wondering what I started on, and he says I started on Windows 95, but I remember the first like computer thing that I used was Windows 98. You can see how like my age there, but Windows 98 was like my real proper experience in computers. Out my elementary schooling, all that, I was pretty good at it. I remember in 5th grade they were introducing us to like the hardware of the computer, and my teacher, who was a guy, was my first like guy teacher. He was like, why aren't you interested like everyone else? Why aren't you like going over and seeing what's inside? And I told him point blank, my dad does that like every weekend. He tears his computer up and puts it back together as a fun hobby. So I already know what's all the parts and stuff. I could name them. Like, this doesn't interest me like everyone else. I always thought my dad was like a computer doctor and I was like his nurse, handing him like a screwdriver or a part or this or that. So me and my dad always had that in common. So in 6th grade, however, we finally had our own computer lab, and this is when I was first introduced to Apple computers. I thought I did not need help. I knew how to use a laptop, a computer. Do not help me. And then when we got there, I was so confused why the system was different. Later on, I realized it was because it was the Mac system, or the old one. It was like those white like laptops. I'll insert a picture of what they look like. That was the first Apple computer I ever used, and when I got home I just told my dad, what in the world, I don't know how to use this computer. And then I realized what it was. Do not ask me why my dad did not like Apple products. It was just a preference thing. We all get used to a different preference. But in 8th grade, I remember begging him that I wanted an iPod, and he finally gave in and bought me the hot pink iPod, and it was the greatest thing. I was so popular. I had the hot pink Motorola Razr and then the hot pink iPod, and this is where the whole hot pink obsession started. Like you can see later on in this video where all the hot pinkness makes sense. But I loved the iPod. It wasn't until 2012 though that I got my first iPhone. I got the iPhone 4S and I enjoyed that thing. In 2014, I got my first iPad, and that is when the obsession started that I wanted a MacBook so I can connect my iPhone, my iPad, and a MacBook together. Every year I wished and begged my dad to get me a MacBook, and he was like, no, stick to Windows. And I was in college doing my thesis. I needed a new laptop. I always got my dad's hand-me-down laptops. He never bought me a brand new one. He just got me a hot pink laptop, so I would just stop my obsession with the MacBook. So I was like, okay, it's pink, I love it. I took it to school and I was like, I loved that hot pink laptop so much. Unfortunately, it broke, and I was so adamant that I was gonna get a MacBook after that. I'm like, yes, it's time. I'm finally gonna get one so everything could hook up, and I just wanted a MacBook. Don't ask me why. And then I could not afford one, and we were going through some financial problems in that era, so it was impossible as well. But I needed a new laptop. I was busy making YouTube videos full time. I needed a good laptop to get me started. So I finally saved up the money and got a gold Dell laptop because it was all I could afford, and it could handle editing YouTube videos, and it was a pretty good laptop. But I was still heartbroken that I still didn't get my MacBook. Okay, that laptop still technically worked, but I was still doing videos and I was uploading so much content. There was a period of time there where I was really consistent with my YouTube uploads, okay? And I needed a new laptop again, and I was looking into different ones, and I'm like, that is the point where I was like, should I just stick to Windows? What I know, I just want a MacBook to have all of my Apple things connected. There's no other reason. I can just stick to having Windows. So I looked into getting like the pretty pink like Razer computers and like pink laptops because I wanted to go back and get me a pink laptop, you know. I knew MacBooks could be customizable and you can put like skins on them and like different cases. So that's another reason why I wanted the MacBook, just for the aesthetic, not really the functionality of it. So again, I gave up. I moved here to the US and I could not afford to get me a new laptop at the time. So I was stuck with my gold laptop. That gold Dell was getting through different videos. I think I edited on it for like 2 or 3 years straight. And then it was finally time that I needed to get a new one because it was just overpacked. Like that thing could not edit anymore. It would just like freeze every 5 seconds. So I'm like, I need a new laptop. So I was looking back and forth, and I just decided, you know what, I don't care about getting a MacBook anymore. Let me just get another Windows. So my current laptop that I do have, that I edit so much on now, is still great. The battery just died a few weeks ago, but I've been using that one. So I've just stuck with that laptop because it was a great opportunity to get that laptop. There's some more behind the scenes to it, but that new laptop that I was using, that I have been editing my videos on until this day, has worked until like just a few weeks ago. The battery started going out on it, so I have to plug it in. It's no longer like a laptop. You have to like put it on power all the time. So the first of this year, I knew I was gonna get a new laptop because the one that I got in 2020, the timeline doesn't make sense as I'm talking about it, but this laptop I got in January of 2020, it has been doing me good until this point, until the battery has given out on it. So I knew this year I needed to like research, do I really want a MacBook or do I want to stick with Windows again? Like, let me see what is out there. But something in me was telling me, just get a MacBook. I saw that they were on sale the first of the year and I'm like, this is a sign. Like, I should get one. But I postponed it. The sale was over with. And I was like, okay, it's not happening. I should just wait. Well, the 1st of April, I went on and I saw that the MacBooks were on sale and I can get it on credit for a pretty good deal. So I decided, you know what, maybe I should take it as a sign. And a few days later, my dad came to me and was like, you know what, you've been wanting this for years. Make the plunge. You've been talking about it for how long? Just do it. It's my birthday present to you. Like, that is, like, he didn't really get it for me. I got it for myself, but he made me, he gave me the push to finally do this. And I bought it, and I got it 2 days later, and it came in the mail, and I am so excited. Actually, I'm filming this segment a week after I got this, so I can do like a thing, how I set it up, all that, so it's not just me unboxing it and telling you this whole long story time. So I set up all my cameras, I unboxed this, so I'll insert that footage now of me opening up my MacBook. There you go. I was just so excited. I don't know how good the angle was. So I have the MacBook Air. That is the one that I settled on. And now that it is a week later, I can tell you more about it. But first, let me show you what it looks like. So I got the color Starlight because I thought that was really pretty. But remember when I mentioned hot pink and getting to customize MacBooks? Well, I got a hot pink case for it because I just needed to. Like, I knew as soon as I ordered this, I looked and went onto Amazon and found a case for it that is in my hot pink. Let me do the unboxing of the case now. Excited for it. I was so giddy. I wish I filmed my reaction to opening it because this has been a long time coming. From the story time in the beginning, there's like more details to it, but I just summarized it. I have been wanting this for so long, and like getting it has just been like, I know it's just an item and stuff, but I've worked hard to finally be able to own this, to save up to get one and stuff. So I am just so grateful that finally, after all this time of wanting one, I have it in my hand. I love the Starlight color. It is very pretty, but I just didn't want it to get scratched, and I wanted a case for it anyways, so I might go back and get me a clear one so you can see like the actual color of the laptop. But You just have to forgive me. I've wanted a hot pink laptop for so long, and I finally have one. Even though it's just a case, it's not the actual laptop being hot pink. In my eyes, it's still hot pink. So yes, I have finally got my dream. Everything is hot pink. So ever since I got that Motorola Razr and that hot pink iPod, everything has been hot pink. My iPhone, I had a hot pink camera, I had a hot pink laptop, my cup. If it comes in hot pink, I will buy it. I love hot pink. Everything is hot pink if I could. Like, it is just my color, my signature. Like, I love hot pink gadgets, accessories, everything. I was super excited to finally play with the MacBook, see what it's all about. And a week later, I can tell you that my experience with the MacBook compared to being a Windows user for, I don't know, 25 years of my life is, it feels like driving in England. That is how I described it to my dad. It's like driving in England. Everything is backwards. Everything is switched. It's really like that. I've never drove in England. I've only drove on like the US, the Philippines. We all drive on the same side of the road. It's like the opposite. So when I told my dad that, he's like, okay, and he started laughing. I do love it. I do not regret it. It's just gonna take some time to get used to. You have to understand, I've been on like the Windows operating system for so long, since I was like 5-6 years old, to now move over back to the Mac. Move over to that is just wild, you know, but I'm enjoying the process. I already edited a video on it. I did my Barnes & Noble vlog. The first half was actually edited on here, and the rest is going to be edited on my Windows laptop. The thing is though, what I've gathered from all this is I'm not a fully converted person for like switching over permanently to a MacBook. So even though I've waited all these years to finally experience having a MacBook, I'm sticking with both. Like, I do enjoy both for different reasons. I love the MacBook for the connectivity. So I did a whole entire vlog on my iPhone, and I could just transfer the footage so easily to here. Like, I airdropped it, edited on Premiere, exported it, and it was like a breeze. But then again, I love using my Windows laptop to edit on, and the like buttons and the functions. I don't know how to use this yet. Later on, I probably will get better. Like, everything will come, and like I'll just have to practice on it. But like, I think I'm gonna stick with both. I know some people are be like, you wanted this for so long and you're now telling me that you don't like it. I like it. It's just different, you know? So I am totally gonna stick with my Windows laptop as well as my MacBook. I might make my Windows laptop like my desktop computer here at home, and if I'm traveling, take this with me, because they still do connect and stuff. The only disadvantage I don't like about this is you have to buy an adapter to put your SD card. Unlike my laptop, you can just put the SD card from my camera directly. That's the only thing. The only thing. And the mouse pad is backwards to what I'm used to. So I have an external mouse for this that I use. So other than that, that's like the only cons I have with the MacBook so far. I love the system. It's really fast, really easy. I've been enjoying it and stuff. It's just, you get used to something. Like, that's why I can't use my dad's Samsung phone, because I'm so used to iOS. So it's just like that. Just take some time to get used to. And I hope you like my analogy of using a MacBook is like driving in England. That is the difference for me. I still love my Windows laptop. I'm gonna get the battery fixed here this month as well, so I don't have to keep plugging it in. That's the only thing wrong with it. It's still a great computer, super fast for editing. It's edited so many like videos for me and stuff. I need it for like Photoshop, editing videos, stuff like that. Let's turn it on. The keyboard, I love that. That is so fun. When it did that for the first time, I almost started crying. But I just love this thing. I love that it comes with like a pink cover and stuff, and like I'm wearing hot pink in the picture. And no, my background is not hot pink. It actually matches like my iPhone. So it's blue this month because I have a monthly thing from a blogger that I follow who uploads things, and it's blue this month. So let me put my password in. When you first start it up, you have to put the password in, but it has like the touch ID like my old iPhone 8, which I kind of like that. And it's just, this thing makes me so happy and I love it, and I've set it up all that I like to. It's still like, I'm still getting used to everything, but yeah, got it. The keypad is really large. I still need to like get used to like the command and the control to do stuff. And the keyboard, I love the keyboard. It types really well. I needed to get used to it once I put my nails on again, but after that it's so nice. It's so fun. I love this thing. And I'm so grateful that I finally got the MacBook after dreaming about it for so long. If you go back to like my wish list, my Christmas wish list, my birthday wish list that I put here on my YouTube channel, I've mentioned time and time again that I want to get a MacBook, and finally I did. So this is a dream come true for me. I know it's something small and I've worked hard to get to this point. So yeah, it might not be a big deal to some, but for me it was. And yeah, I will stick to both. I love it. I love the convenience of it. And then just the nostalgia of having Windows is there as well, if that makes sense. Now we're in the section of setting up my MacBook Air and what is on it. So what's on my MacBook Air? Put my thumbprint, and this is all that is on my MacBook. Here is how my MacBook is set up for the time being. So I've only had it a week, so I'm just going to show you what I did, the basics. This is my current wallpaper. It's super cute and it matches my iPad, my iPhone, so they all have the same wallpaper. See? And this one. And all together. I'm not really sure how to customize a MacBook. I've been watching a couple of YouTube videos about it, but this is how I have mine. I think this is the dock, and this is all I have on it. So we have the Finder, which is like the file explorer. Remember, I'm used to Windows. Then we have the different apps, which I guess we can go through. You have the standard, all the apps that it comes with, all the ones that are like on the iPhone and the iPad. And then you scroll over. I'm still getting used to the scroll. And then you go that way, and then these are all the apps that I have currently installed on it. I have Messenger to talk with my family. I have Microsoft To Do, which is really weird to have on like an Apple computer because it's Microsoft, but that's the app that I use to plan all my content. It's like my favorite note-taking app. Then I'm using Google Chrome. I do use Safari on my iPad and iPhone, but I like Google Chrome on like laptops and computers. Then we have Spotify, and then we have my Adobe app. So I pay for Photoshop, Lightroom, and Adobe Premiere to, of course, edit these videos. That is what I use to edit, if you wanted to know. Then I decided to add CapCut. That is what I use to edit my TikTok videos. So I did not know you can put it on a MacBook. And then I have a separate Canva app, which is how I've been making my thumbnails lately. The Kindle app, which is really good that I can read on my MacBook. Not like I don't have a separate Kindle, an iPad, and a phone to read on. And then I know this like Adobe app is supposed to be with the other Adobes. I like having them together, but this one is just a media encoder, so I left it last. Now back down, we have the messaging, the mail app. I don't like having any notifications on like my dock or dashboard or whatever you call this. I have Safari, photos, so we have the calendar, we have reminders, we have notes, we have pages, the app store, and then we have the settings. I have not updated my settings yet because I have been wanting to keep it because it's on OS Ventura, and I was actually born in Ventura, so I feel like it was a sign for me. So I might gonna do that here in like a week. I'll have to update it to the new Mac OS system, but for now it's on the Ventura OS system. I don't know if that's any good. Then we have Google Chrome up. As you saw, I have my YouTube channel pulled up and Spotify. I'm still listening to the Tortured Poets Department and I'm loving it. And then this is downloads right down there, the folder. So it's meant to be downloads, but the last thing I downloaded was the cute little matching folders that you can customize, which is really fun. Then apparently these two are like your open tabs, like your most recent on the iPad. That's what I figured it out to be. And then lastly, we have trash, which there's nothing in my trash can, and I love the little trash can. It's so cute. Up here, we have the Barnes & Noble vlog footage that was from my iPhone that I airdropped over, and then some photos that are in a different folder that I airdropped from like my other Apple devices. So yeah, I love the matching like folder icons. They're so cute, and I had to like Google how to do that, but once I got there, I got there. So my battery is getting low, but this thing has a pretty good battery. I think I've been using this for 3 days straight, just watching YouTube videos on it and like simple like Chrome tasks, so like browsing the web, and it's lasted me 3 days, and I shut it down every night. Now I'm still getting used to the layout. The taskbar up there is a little different, of course, and everything. One final look at everything on my MacBook so far, and after 2 weeks of having this now, as I'm filming this clip, I really like it, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. So there we go. That was the MacBook Air setup section. I hope I just summarized that. You enjoyed me unboxing it, telling you a little story about my computer journey and stuff like that, because I really wanted this, and I don't know how to like put it into words how grateful I am that I finally got my dream device. Now, do I want an iMac? That is a different story. We'll see in the future, but for now I'm good with tech. I got my dream camera, dream laptop. I have my new iPad that you saw me unbox. I'll link that video. Unfortunately, my old iPad Pro died, so I bought a new one in January. That was the thing. I was going to buy the MacBook in January, but the iPad decided, you know what? I'm gonna give out on you, and that's why I got that one back then. So yeah, that is it for my rambly MacBook unboxing story time haul. I will link the accessories that I got for it, so the case, which MacBook that I got, all that fun stuff. If you want to check me out elsewhere, I have Instagram, and I also have TikTok, and I also have a separate BookTok/Bookstagram account. Those are always linked down below in the description also. So it is the eve of my birthday, and it's also Taylor Swift release night at 9 o'clock my time, since I'm on the West Coast. So I am going to go now and prepare for that, import the footage while I wait for a Taylor. Am I going to edit this video on the MacBook? I'll let you know if I did in the description, so check that out to see if I did edit this video on there. There you go. That was today's video. I do hope you enjoyed watching. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone!